Oh my goodness. These are going to be so good. Hey guys, welcome to Mad Scientist BBQ. I'm Jeremy Yoder, and today we're going to be doing something really fun. We're going to make some old-fashioned ribs. These old-fashioned ribs that we're making are not some ancient way of cooking ribs. What I mean is old-fashioned like the drink, which means we're going to use some bourbon. We're in Kentucky. So we're going to use some Woodford Reserve. We're going to make an old-fashioned cocktail. We're going to make an old-fashioned glaze. And you're going to see, I think, some really good-looking ribs. Now, these ribs are Berkshire ribs, which means they're going to have a little bit more fat, and they're kind of a deeper, darker color, which means a little bit more flavor. So we're going to season them incredibly simply. Salt and pepper only, because we're going to add those other flavors in the glaze that we use at the end. They're going to go on the smoker. We're going to start low and smoky, get a nice layer of smoke on there, and then we're going to get them finished off. We're going to walk you through the process as we go, but in the end, we're going to glaze with our kind of old-fashioned mix. We're going to have an old-fashioned cocktail, and then there's going to be one more suggestion that I'll make at the end that, for me, completes the entire thing. You guys probably know that I love barbecue and I love food. You might know that I love cigars, but what you might not know is that I'm a huge sports fan. And I want to thank today's sponsor, Underdog, for sponsoring today's video. Underdog is the easiest way to play fantasy sports, and it's not just football. You can also play fantasy baseball, basketball, UFC, and more. It's simple. All you have to do is pick whether you think your favorite player stats are going to be higher or lower, and you can win money instead of just bragging rights. You can make your own entry with as few as 2 picks and win 3x your money, or you can go bigger and win up to 20x your money. Right now, Underdog is giving new customers a special pick. For Dak Prescott, do you think Dak Prescott can get more than just 1 yard? All he needs to do is have 1 yard to win. Here are some of my picks for this week's upcoming NFL games. If I win, I can 10x my money. I've got a special promo for you guys. For a limited time, Underdog is offering new users a $100 deposit match. That's right, $100. All you have to do is click on the link below or download the Underdog app from the App Store and put in code SCIENTIST to get that $100 match. Underdog's pick'em games are available in 30 plus states, including California, Texas, and even Canada. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code SCIENTIST to get a first deposit match of up to $100. For me, it makes watching the NFL even more exciting, especially for teams that aren't my team or they're not playing against my team, so I can be invested literally and figuratively in every game that I watch. So if that's something you're interested in, check out that link in the description, and good luck. So step one, let's get these ribs prepped. With the ribs on, now it's time to get the temperature and the fire right. So I'm looking for 200 degrees because I want low and smoky. I want gentle airflow. So I'm going to use the damper about 75% of the way closed. And then I got the coal bed in there super hot. So I'm going to get a big gnarly piece of oak, and it's going to burn slowly and provide lots of smoke flavor. So let's get the fire right, and then we're going to check in on these ribs in about an hour. Nice and gnarly, big. This is gonna smoke really well, so we've gotta keep it in open flames, but we're gonna get really good smoke flavor. So I'm gonna show you what that looks like in a second. Now that that big log is lit, we're gonna close down this door to the firebox so that we get flames that are about this tall. That means we're gonna have lots of really good smoke flavor, no kind of off-tasting smoke, like if you've ever had anything that's over-smoked, you know what I'm talking about. But if we keep open flame in there and keep them small, we're gonna have a perfect environment to get those ribs the kind of flavor and color that's gonna make them look and taste like $1 million. It's been an hour. Let's take a look at these and see if we have the color on there that's going to indicate to us that there's good smoke flavor. If so, then we're going to bump the temperature up to between 250 and 275 and start rendering fat and hopefully get a little bit of pullback on those bones. All right, that's looking really good. I'm looking for a nice red color. It's going to tell me that there's probably good smoke flavor on there. So I'm going to keep it smoky, but I'm going to increase the temp and start rendering this fat. You can see the fat has started to turn yellow, an evidence of smoke flavor, but we want to make this really cook down and make each bite super juicy. All right, let's bump up that temp. I'm going to add a few more pieces of oak. By the way, we're cooking with oak today. I have some hickory, I have some oak, I have a few other things, but oak is my favorite, so that's what I'm using. We're cruising at 275, so we're going to check back in a couple hours when we start making our cocktail and getting ready to wrap. It's been about 3.5 hours of total cook time at this point, and I think these ribs are ready to wrap. I'm going to pull a rack out. We'll take a look at them. We'll wrap them up. We're going to cook them till tenderness, but while they're finishing up, we're going to work on our old-fashioned. I really like the look of these. It's still soft all the way around the outside. We have really good color. This fat is starting to render, so when I press it, it wants to kind of give way and release some juice. That's exactly what I want. I'm going to wrap these all up. I'm not going to add anything to the wrap, but we're going to put them in and finish them off. These also look really good. This right here, I mean, these are going to be juicy ribs. Last rack. Looking nice and juicy. Remember we had a bunch of fat here and we wanted to see if it'll render, and it looks like it's rendering beautifully. Oop, we had a little bit of a geyser there. Oh, another one. All right, my mouth's already watering. This is going to be so good. Oh, man. So hungry right now. Oh. Okay. It's time to make our old-fashioned. It's going to serve as the complement to our old-fashioned inspired glaze that we're going to be putting on these ribs. So the point isn't to try to get wasted before the food gets done, even though I have done that before, not proud of it. But we're going to make the perfect complement. I'm not a bartender. I'm not a mixologist. Keep that in mind. I'll show you the way that I like to make it, and then you can make it however you choose. Time to make our glaze now. This is not exactly an old-fashioned, but it's inspired by an old-fashioned. I saw Evan Leroy from Leroy & Lewis do a bourbon glaze when I was in Austin, and I was just thrilled with that. It tasted so good. And I'd done it a few times since then, and every time I just thought, this is so darn good. Then somebody on Patreon, Chris Stafford, Lone Mountain Barbecue on Instagram. If you guys want to follow somebody on Instagram who just posts dynamite shots of their food, Lone Mountain Barbecue, he's the guy. But he told me about doing some old-fashioned ribs, and I thought that is such a great idea. So we're going to make a glaze, and it's going to have a lot more sugar than an old-fashioned would, because I want a sweet kind of candy-like glaze on the outside, because we have a layer of the pork flavor, salt and pepper, smoke, and then the sweet glaze that we're going to put on top. So what we're going to do is start with simple syrup. That's just sugar and water. Then we're going to add some bourbon, and then we're going to add some of this cherry juice. And you might be thinking, well, what about the orange? There's no orange. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to zest a little bit of orange and some lemon on top of the rack of ribs when it's finished, so you get all of those flavors combined, and I think it's going to be dynamite. Okay, so we start with mostly simple syrup. Add some bourbon. We don't want to add too much. Let's shake this up. This should be miscible. There's a chemistry word for you. Able to mix completely. Now, to this, I'm going to add the juice from these cherries. These are bourbon cherries, I guess, from Woodford Reserve. But these are not like maraschino cherries. They're going to have a lot deeper, darker flavor. And the juice in here is absolutely killer. Oh, it smells so good. It's like when you have like a black cherry flavored dessert. That smells really good. So, I could have thought of a better way to do this, I think. That's clearly not working. How do you do it? This is how my mom did it.
You're the chemist. Didn't you learn
This
that
is
in chemistry?
this is how my mom did it. No, I did not learn this.
How did I learn something in chemistry that you didn't learn?
You know, that's something that I missed. Okay.
Because you never went to class.
Class is overrated. Going to class is overrated. If you can take the test and you get an A on the test, you obviously didn't miss anything by not going to class. That's my opinion on that.
Did you go to chem labs though, or did you?
Well, you had to go to chem lab. You couldn't say, well, if I had been in the lab, this would have happened. You had to, you had to write down in your lab notebook, 8.461 grams of this and whatever. So let's clean this up. So I don't know how many ounces of that cherry stuff there was, but there's a fair amount. It smells pretty boozy. But if it's too boozy, you can kind of cook that off a little bit. So when these are done, I'm going to put them back on the foil that they're wrapped in right now. And then we're going to glaze them with this. Because we've all been eating ribs and thought, you know what this needs? Booze. I mean, I can't eat and drink. I mean, I only got two hands, buddy, and one of them's holding a cigarette. Why don't you meet me halfway? Points to you if you know what that's from.
There's rum cake, which makes sense, because we've all been eating cake and thought, you know what this needs? Booze. Shot of liquor. I don't have time to eat and drink. I only got two hands, buddy, and one of them's holding a cigarette. Meet me halfway, will you?
That is toasty. Oh, so toasty. Ooh, these look good. Ooh. They look good. They're going to be done really soon. But they are not yet done. These guys need like 15 minutes, maybe. Ooh, those look good. Oh my goodness. Oh, Erica, look at these things, man. They look so good. Look, we didn't add anything to the wrap there, but look at this.
I smell the pepper.
Oh, smells so good. They're just, okay, they're on the verge of wanting to crack. I think 2 more minutes, then we glaze them. By 2, I mean like 7. I think it's time to glaze our ribs. So we're going to flip these over. And don't those look magnificent? Oh my goodness. These are going to be so good. So I'm going to turn this into a foil raft. Not a foil boat. It's a foil raft. Okay? Don't be confused by anybody named Stanley Robinson out there. It's a foil raft. Just hit it with a little bit of this glaze. Be generous. And put them back on. Again, liberally. Okay, we're going to let those glaze. It's going to be great. I think these ribs are done. Let's get them off. Let's finish them, and let's give them a taste. Look at these. Ooh, they look so good. I got more to get off. You can smell a little bit of booziness. Oh, look at these guys, man. Glistening. Let's do a little bit like this. That alcohol is going to kind of get pulled away pretty quickly. Now it's time to finish them with just a little bit of orange zest and some lemon zest.
Can you do some without it?
Yeah. The smell is so good. That smell. Good.
It looks like cheese.
It's not cheese. It's not cheese.
So leave one without it.
Okay, we'll leave that one without it.
You ruined it with the orange stuff.
Nope. You guys agree with me or you agree with her? You're not gonna hurt my feelings. I've been married for a while now. I'm kind of used to losing arguments. It's fine.
Oh my gosh. Don't even
Oh,
find
we're about to
out.
start a fight right now. Ooh, man. You do not get used to losing arguments. You know what? You're right. I win them all the time. That looks good. I wonder if I tried, I just kind of spread this out a little bit more. Let's go. Don't be a hero, kid. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die. You guys can see at the beginning, doing that low temperature, nice and smoky, really paid off. Great smoke ring. If you look at the color, this is exactly the color I like on ribs. They have the glisten that I like, and they're gonna be the right level of tenderness. Yeah, it smells so good with the zest on there and everything. Sweetness, cherry, smoke. Oh. So good. Oh, that end bite was, oh, even better. Oh man. I'm gonna finish this rack by myself if I can fight off Erica long enough to actually finish these. Reminiscent of an old fashioned, it's some of those same flavors. A lot of the booziness kind of gets cooked off, but you can just reglaze it immediately at the end. And actually, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna try one with fresh glaze on it. All right, we'll just do a little bit. And there we go, right on the top. Oh, oh, it smells so good. All right. Wow. You want to try this? Yeah, they're in there. What about that? Man. Okay, guys. These are incredible. This glaze works just as you would imagine to provide some sweetness. And then you have that kind of smoky, different kind of sweet flavor you get from the bourbon. The cherry comes through, the lemon zest, the orange zest. Really kind of the perfect balance, and it's exactly what I want. Not overly sweet, not overly boozy, but just right. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on other social media at Mad Scientist BBQ, or on Patreon at Mad Scientist BBQ, where I got this idea and lots of other great ideas. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.